at this. Dad, it's on my garments. I'm gonna fall back right here. Till later.
I think that's possible. That's fine. You know what he did?
You can watch it. Hey, just leave it though. But just watch it, just in case if anything happens and tell me. Don't answer any numbers. Don't even be like quiet. If I touch it, just let it be unless some like weird shit happens.
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Yahweh.
Great brothers here from Great Millstone, Chicago, with our honored guest, Apostle Todd, and we got different brothers that's coming in from Iowa. We got a lot of brothers here from Syria. So you know, the Spirit said, let's go teach. All right? So we're jumping out there and getting it started. All right? And it's the perfect time to get it started. Right now, we are at the end of this Babylonian captivity, in the last leg of this captivity. Out of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, we are the true biblical Israelites by blood. Right. We are the sons of God. And you know, the Most High is very upset. Now, just the other day, the Ghanaian representative at the UN started a resolution that 123 countries agreed that the enslaving of the so-called African black peoples across the globe and the colonialization of our people and how it the most egregious, the most heinous, thing that's happened. Now, out of all the United Nations, 3 other nations said no. Who? America, so-called Israel, and Argentina. Now, Argentina's our people, but guess who run it? The small, miniature, capital, right? So they their leadership, just like Mexico, Shine Bomb. That don't even sound like an Israelite name. How you? Escaratus, but you're a Jew, and a fake Jew. You know, hit with a shiny bomb. That's right. Shiny bomb, all right. How you doing? Good. Nice and good. All right. And y'all remember back in the day, chapter 9 and verse 12, it says, and he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven hath not been done, and hath been done upon Jerusalem. Nobody's treated us the way any other nation's been treated. We've been treated worse. Matter of fact, so we'll give you back to back that up for back to you. All right? Because in Matthews it tell you what one nation hasn't had a part of our spoil and taken us down. All right? But now here in the United Nations, three countries said, fuck that. And then 50, I think 52 or 53 abstained from the same. And guess what the majority of them were? The European, France, Spain, Britain, Ireland. Esau hate us. When I say that, not only so-called white people hate Negro, Latino, Native American, but everybody hates us. And guess what we've done to other people? When's the last time you seen Jamaica attack somebody? When's the last time you seen Mexico attack somebody? When's the last time you seen Jamaica attack somebody? All we ever done is retaliate for being attacked. But we're the bad people. We're the most of the earth. You're evil. He said, no, you've got nuclear weapons, you're trying to make it. You got nuclear weapons. Yeah. But he can't have it. He can't have
Maccabees chapter 2, and I'll start up a little bit at verse 7. He said, woe is me, wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people.
See, well, how are you when we born into this earth? You see Esau, the so-called white man in the penthouse. You see them jets sitting all over this goddamn world. They give a token basketball player, a token singer, a chance to do it. But majority of the niggas, we in the hood, we in the ghetto, we ain't got shit. And then I was just listening to a report out of every single country. They said that of the top 5 countries where blacks are really treated the worst, of course, number 1 was America. All right, you know Israel, okay? Japan was on the same side. But they said that no matter what country we go, we are relegated to the most subservient job. Then go and go work my club. Bounce at the door. Right? Hey, go clean the trash. Hey, go push this deliver mail. Right? Go clean.
At Lamentation chapter 3, verse 45, it says, thou hast made us as the offscouring and refuse in the midst of the people.
Somebody give me the definition of offscouring and etymon.
Read the NLT as well.
Bible.
Lamentations 3 and 45 in the NLT. It says, you have discarded us as refuge and garbage among the nations.
So look, all the nations. So when we are the garbage. We are the offscouring. We are the refuge. We are the trash. That's how they look at us. And guess what? We have not done anything to none of these goddamn nations.
Right. They've been mocking us, doing blackface and all this shit. Now they mad about Jerusalem, man.
Right.
All right, and it's funny watching you motherfuckers squirm, man. You know, because everybody's seeing the hypocrisy.
Yes.
You motherfuckers are weak, man.
That's it.
You're the basis of men, man.
And the hypocrisy runs deep. It not only runs deep, it runs deep and long, no homo. All right? This is the moment that we've been set foot down here, man. We've been going through nothing but trial and tribulation and trials, man. And everybody look at us. As soon as we walk into the store, they like, watch it. Right? You know, but number one, you're going to see. There's a problem. Here go Jake. Here go Jake here to save the day. But we're the worst. How are we the worst, but we're the best?
Yeah, white women are telling their kids, you get lost, find a big black man.
That's it.
Because statistically, we're not known for doing this shit that they are.
You've never seen Bill Cosby Island. All right? Have you seen Cosby Island? All right? Now, R. Kelly might feel you. But that's about it. All right? But you got these niggas going. Matter of fact, I was on me. And they're damn put out. And then they said, but that shows you the mindset of the world and how everybody knows that they great pillage to destroy us. Right? That's why I was so mad at I read that Mandinajam. He said it years ago. Mandinajam said it years ago and tried to low-key say that how they've been treating us wrong. The Russians goes out and So this is ongoing. Who got all started definition? Whoever got to read it.
This is the all-score definition. It says rejected matter.
Rejected matter. Then the Lord said we have people rejected, all stars. And that's not the funny thing is, who is the first one they're going to pick who does the basketball? The biggest high. I got this 7 foot. Yeah, I got to jump out the thing and come out the ground. All right, he'll put you for that for entertainment. You be first, be picked. All right, but he said we are what?
Rejected matter.
We rejected matter. That's why those 3 nations, America, Argentina, and Israel, was like, no, that's not the most egregious. And then they had the nerve to say, well, we don't want to quantify people's solve and give it a hierarchy. No, nigga, you don't want to take the bag that you know you are guilty of. Take the anointing of the Lord, the chosen people of the Heavenly Father, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, who never done nothing to you.
You know what it is? Not only that, then you have to go into the budget. You have to go into the history. That's
Yeah.
They don't want to have to and now it's a waste. If we say yes, this is true, now reparations can be set up, an atonement can be set up, and they're like, they don't want to go down there.
You have to actually have the history. Why? You got to make payments. You have to go into the evidence. When you go to the evidence, that's the issue.
They're not people,
Right? Because they have to go
you can enjoy food.
Only 6 million now. The other 79 million, the hell with them. Right? Only 6 million now. Right? And they only them get all the reparations.
Oh, it's all good.
And all the sympathy and all exactly. So the hell with the other 79 million souls. They didn't matter.
And it's coming out more and more what the entitlements they getting over here. It's even worse than what you can think. They got a trust fund set up for every new you wish you were us baby. What do you call it? Israelites? Listen, the land that is not real. If they come over here, down anywhere, they get immediately trust funds, they get money, they get stipends, they get everything. They're set up. That's why you wonder why they don't ever fail, because all your taxpayers' money going to them. Right? You wonder why you got potholes in your streets? Right? Because of them. Right? You got that?
That which is bound or despised. That which is sworn forward and sworn. It says, being away from, further, not firmly fixed. Not firmly fixed. It says,
Not firmly fixed. Why does the scripture say we have no, right down here, we have no continuing seat, but we seek one to come. Right? But guess what? We built up every single empire on this planet. Over the course of time, over civilization, we have taught every civilization. You want to talk about mathematics? You got to go back to Abraham. All right? You got to go back to Joseph. You want to talk about leading up countries and leading up kingdoms? Why the castles over there in Europe still, brother Johnny over there, them castles are over 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 years old, still standing firm. You got a house that's been only made 60, 70 years, falling apart.
Watch that. That was changing all when they put it back to the and they did all that fight coming out, they destroyed it.
They were doing
And they
it.
were destroying images of the death. They were destroying all those images and all those relics. Who the hell goes into a museum? Small has dressed like because of these receipts, relics, they connect to time, right? Psalm chapter 85, verse 11. Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven. Right? So they go digging into the earth, they find out these relics. And when you dig up these relics, and you reveal this relic, they're contrary to the narrative, right? They're very much contrary to the narrative that's being pushed in society, historically, right? Very much. Jeremiah chapter 15:23. I'm gonna read in the NLT. Babylon, the mightiest hammer in all the earth, lies broken and shattered. Babylon is desolate among the nations. So those lies are being broken, man. It starts off with the truth that's being coming out, you know. And now even these same narratives that at one time they were dismissed, like, oh, we're kicking everybody's ass, we're doing this, we're so mighty. And now because of alternative media that's coming out, people are hearing these things and seeing this world like, oh, something saying one thing. All right, but these different images and destruction, video is from the place. Right. So from exactly. See, but you want to listen to something. That doesn't seem to be, you know. And I got all this he keeps talking about liberation, but yet American bases were completely not. We have $1 trillion bases. I mean, some of these bases that they built in Qatar, in Saudi Arabia, we're talking about $1 billion, $1 trillion bases, and they're completely wiped out. And it ain't stopping shit.
And then not mention all the planes, every single warplane.
It's like you got a fish net, and you dip it in to get the fish, but your net. Everything is coming at it. You know, they shoot this and say, oh,
I'm going around the corner.
And you can understand why these people are why you have a nuclear among your military, because they don't want to fight in an unrighteous war, which is what they're calling an illegal war, because Congress have declared war. That's why you just had I would have been there half hour ago. We got caught with low keys. We got caught on the other side. We were all over the place trying to get it. Okay? I was before we got yeah, you know. So yeah, this what the narrative that's being pushed in the mainstream media is not the narrative. It's not the true narrative. And all I saw out there with the no kids, I saw a lot of people, mostly women, right? There's a lot of white people with F license. That's what I saw the most. And I saw a couple of Negro women with black kids. I don't know what they were. But I saw white women with F license. And F and ice is Trump's mark. So in other words, you can really say it's F license. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. The president is a veto.
You can't make it up, right?
You can't make it up, man.
That's the stuff that gets you excited as a man of war. But you can't make it up. This is the war show.
I said it, and it rolled right up. All right? Right? That being but yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And so let's look at this. Let somebody get that because it's not track. Grab that because now what Iran has done is they choked off the Suez Canal. The Straits of Hormuz. And I was looking at a video that Chicago was playing, and you saw it was literally like it looked like thousands of ships, and they're allowing all the bricks, they're making hand over fist because they're making money hand over fist because Iran now is controlling and everyone's paying in Iran. And Iran is a standing person for the British. Okay? So this is, and now you got, Trump put up all these please, open up the nation. It's not about that. But the fire mission, like you're sitting there, we decided to sit down and eat. That's right. And then you sitting out, so I'm sitting there talking to you, and you sending your message. Right. Bring it up, bro.
This is just Google online because the spirit has Suez. So we talked about the Red Sea. That's in the Red Sea. Right now, Yemen control that, right? So now I asked, is the Strait in the Red Sea being blocked? It says the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. That's the one on the Red Sea, opposite of the Strait of Hormuz, right? It says a vital Red Sea choke point handling 10% of global trade and oil faces severe disruption as Yemen's Houthis threaten to block it with drones and missiles, acting as a second major blockade alongside the already blocked Strait of Hormuz. Iran, involved in a wider conflict, has threatened to shut down this route if the war intensifies, placing shipping in the southern Red Sea under extreme risk.
They got it on lock. America and Israelis are fucked. And I keep seeing videos where the Israelis are mad about we shouldn't have to be living in bunkers. You can't even go to our home. We're the chosen. We're the chosen people. Right? They said nothing. They lied themselves.
That's what they say. Jeremiah 49, which highlights what Edomites is. I want to read that great here it is, Trump and America talking about they're begging for a ceasefire, they're begging.
And that's why I said there's a similarity to the character that Trump is playing right now and the president in the movie Civil War. The president in the movie Civil War was getting on TV talking about how his beating back the rebels and they're beating back the dissent, and we're beating, we're this and that and the other. What was it, whatever they were calling the United Front from California, Texas, and whoever they were out of Florida, and we're beating them and we're destroying them, we're obliterating them.
But then we are winning the war.
He was practicing. And then, at the end of the movie, he was on his back begging for his life. And the nigga bitch standing over him and popped his ass. Right? Another nigga bitch came out. She came out with her badge. She got her badge on. She's Secret Service. I'm here to negotiate. I'm here to negotiate with the and so the other nigga bitch on the opposite side was like, son of a bitch, take me over there. And she said, I'm not staying on here.
That motherfucker broke.
This, that, the other. And she kept making all these men having a nigga woman move, and they listen to each other. They listen to make the man look at the other. Put her ass down. Right? So, up to the end, it shows what? That the next one is going to be the pit bull of Esau is not hard. Because you have a leader who's trying to defend the president, orchestrate his president, and you have another one with all the white guys on her side trying to establish the new way. Right? Instead of being for the whole right? And they killed the other. Actually, the attractive. They sent her straight to jail. Right? And she didn't read and she gonna come out here, basically put her hands on her hips, holding her neck. I'm not giving surrender. Shut up. That's literally what the soldiers said. They listened to her for a few seconds. And when she started making demands, he shut her up. And they went right in after the president. And I'm telling you, when I'm watching that, all I can see is comparison between Trump and the television and just fabricating lies. And Pete Henry is doing the same thing. We didn't attack them first. Yeah. You attacked them twice. During peace, when you're supposed to be having peace negotiations. They're not men of their word. And it affect this and also the one about
Ezekiel 28:3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thy understanding, thou hast gotten riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By the great wisdom and by thy traffic, thou hast gotten riches and thy riches.
transferring their money over to the petrodollar in order to get goods and services. And now all that has been taken from all of that has been taken from him. And not only that, he is not walking in that part of the world. People in that region of the world are telling him to leave, including now this communist conference. Right? People that were with them are actually against him. Because people at the top of Saudi Arabia feel betrayed like the blood. Because they can just
Psalm 55:19. God shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old. Because they have no changes, therefore they fear not God. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
And we sit at the table.
Meanwhile, he can report it. We just got attacked. I'm sitting right here.
Right. I'm sitting right in front of you. You just sit next to your man to go ahead and do it. And I'm getting messages from my man to get peace.
And then they wonder why we don't want to sit back down at the table. They're that stain towards Obadiah. He said they are greatly despised. Right? That it's coming out. And the more you do, the more you're being exposed to the wicked. And you're exposed to being part of the demons that are ruling the world. It's no hiding it.
And he think that nobody ain't supposed to rebuttal that, man. To look all this alternative media, like the brother mentioned, right? And when thou mockest, shall no man make thee ashamed? And this is what's happening, man. This alternative media is shows forth that this dude is a fucking liar, man. You know, and how America is CTV.
And then laugh.
Yep.
And make fun of him. Watched the video last night with what's her name, Kim Iverson. And she was making jokes at him about how they were just clumsy and goofy. Because 3 planes got shot down, they all got shot down by 3 That's even worse. I sent three of my best, and it turns out there was actually 5 that got shot down. But the 3, they had 5, they had 3 that got shut down, and then they denied that Iran did it. And then what did Iran do? Use the video receipt, use the records. They showed you the radar tracking video. It was 6. All right. Wasted millions of dollars of ordnance. That's the coldest shit that's done in military history and recent history. I mean, that's and as far as fuck people, you know, we don't pay for this video. So they painted images. Yeah, they painted images of fighter jets and painted images of battle helicopters. All right, and made a whole fake. Basically, they made fake airfields. So they were bombing. Pictures drawn on the ground. Right? Bombing the hell out of it.
Yeah, Babylon is being approached. Ezekiel 28 and 5. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. It says, behold, therefore, I will bring strangers upon thee, the terror of the nation, and they shall draw their swords against thy beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy righteousness. They shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the death of men that are slain in the midst of the sea. And this is what's coming to Babylon. All right,
in Sirach chapter 10 verse 8, because of unrighteous dealings, and riches God like to see, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
So with all this happening with the Middle East and the nations coming up against Babylon the Great, this is a sign of Esau's downfall. Okay? For all the rape God put up against, John to the king. It says, "Therefore, not to steal or destroy," but by that same sword that was given to you, that's how you took it out. And Esau got so proud that he thought that nobody would touch him.
John 10:10 says the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly.
Yeah, so the sword that Esau has received by his blessing, eventually he's going to get taken out by that same sword. Okay? Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 14.
Get from like maybe a little bit of one before it goes into the nation that the nation has stood up.
I'll start at verse 4. It says that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon.
Yeah, who's the king of Babylon? Right now, the king of Babylon will be Trump. Okay, he's talking about America. Yep, yep.
And say, how after the oppressor cease, the golden city cease. The Lord hath broken. The Lord shall that house and cease. This place is about to come to an end. America is about to be no more in existence. So, the word of God is it says, the Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked.
Yeah, the staff for the wicked is the pride. Okay, go ahead.
And the scepter of the rulers.
Yep.
And the rulership is coming to an end. Their powers are no longer. Seek the dust of all the ones who are in the mountain. Spiritual dust and confusion that's in this place. Right? And then physically it's going to happen as well. When the Lord makes this place deep on the ground, turn this place to a damn desert.
Sit on the ground is in a little state, you know, so it's the trading in places that's about to take place. That's right.
It says, he who smote the people in wrath will continue on stroke.
And he's been doing that to the nations since the beginning of time. He's been doing that to the Ishmael, Ham, and the big bully.
He was on that, just to go back. He was on that, like you said, you mentioned at the beginning. He was on that Josephus highlighted the influence of Cain's descendants before the flood came in. And how he influenced murder, he influenced wickedness, immorality, selfishness, you know, just what it says, Timothy in the last days, which love of themselves over the last days. That's how men was before the flood through the influence of Cain and the earth. And it's reshaped itself, for lack of a better word, in today's time through Esau's doing shit, man. This how we know Esau is Cain, man.
Esau be caught. He said, what he said? Well, Cain said, this mark that he couldn't bear, every man would be true. Well, every man is out to say that in his own tribe.
All these no-king protesters
Yep.
decide, man, you want to protest against that nigga, man.
What she's really protesting against is white people protesting. All right, I got a video with it that I uploaded to a video. But it's a whole combination of things like we find it and what they complain about is that they were trying to go to big and they got whole life. One of the main questions that they're asking is that and so they're concerned. It's a big, it's a major concern. All right? Then they go, as you said, these are different. As you said, she said, I can understand why their conversation was always about the black people. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? Right? And then if you give, they always try, you know, like, I'm with you that you probably know it's around. But you know, they think that there's some of us that all that always feel like that. Or you feel anybody.
being turned against them. So now they're going to be turned against them. So this is a good sign of Esau's future. You know? If somebody got Isaiah 14, this is going to
Isaiah 14:6, he who smote the people of wrath and continual throat, he that ruled the nations great.
Hey, it's something called the economic victory, where they use their military CIA agents to go to different countries and bring their way into their countries. And if you don't go by all these regulations like democracy, out of nowhere there's an uprising in your country. That's in the protocols of Zion. It says that they start upheaval and will. An upheaval is an insurrection.
And work. This person, unalive them, they'll start things to set up people, make settle.
And then they'll get on the propaganda media, right, which will witchcraft, and then they'll show images of so-called other nations protesting Israel. But those motherfucking Americans dressed up, you know what I'm saying? Dressed up, but playing a part. And then they'll get on the interview and say, well, these people are tired of their regime. These people are tired of their country. They're being mistreated and they're being killed off. No, that's just and now the nation have found it out.
From 3,000, 4,000 years ago. I'm like, it turns out that the majority of ice in Chicago actually IDF. Okay? And those Israeli years, dressed up in Arab garb, and destroying those relics, and destroying those things that we have been caught, those relics. That's when you talk about Psalms 85. Relic or image from the time period to tell you so much more than the text will, because they're lying. Right? They're lying in text. They'll read text. It's like, exactly. All right?
You got it.
It says, he that ruled the nations with anger is persecuted, and none hinder it. Who will stop it? Who will stop it? I was shot. Alright, he said, turn right up, up the line in the foot. Alright, the up the line in the line of Judah, we call Jesus, and I was shot. Stop it. Alright, says that how they say the whole earth is at rest. And it's quiet.
They jump. And you gotta understand, they jump into the end time. When this devil gets taken out, that's when the whole earth is gonna be at rest.
We got a peaceful earth. Because right now there's some chaos. Rumors. All this freakness and murder, homosexuality out there. And we got everything out there.
So Isaiah said the people in chief. He said the people in chief. And that's exactly why you think they, one of the reasons why they went to war in the first place was to get the spotlight off of the Epstein file. And they call it Operation Epstein. But the world is calling it Operation Epstein. And everyone knew why they did this. All right? And guess what? They're not talking about it. That was exactly what they were.
symbolically, the tree is going to be also. Because you know, proves that those are not real people. Remember, I said the second chapter said all the weapons and everything is going to get burned up. So when this devil goes, all right, there's going to be no weapons for him to do anything. But why is it war? Right there. Right there. Where's Moyle in the Bible? You got it. Let's finish this up with
Now from beneath is moved to be thee at thy coming.
that hell, which is destruction. Okay? Death. Death is coming to Babylon the Great. Right? So hell is coming.
It stirs up the dead for thee.
It stirred up the death. The dead is talking about the other nations. So the dead is getting stirred up. Alright? The scripture says the Lord must up the whole battle. So all these nations is at that point where they're getting pissed off and they're tired of Babylon the Great. Alright? And eventually, and we hope soon, the spirit is that those missiles will stop. Alright? That's the end all be all wrong. The end of all this that's happening is thermonuclear destruction. You gotta get burned. Because it's so dirty. Everything is the film, man. Everything you touch. That's why you got females walking around with their family. Blood is family. Everything is the family. It's devil. He allows it. He's always pushing it on his all of that, man. Out of order. The power nation ain't Egypt. You know, they don't give a care about what they do. They don't give a wicked. The socket's coming over. The socket's coming over. Level out the house. Where's fucking level the goddamn air? Yeah. Level everywhere. This place is the top. They put it back everywhere, man. You gotta keep the level of the body, too.
It says, it stirred up the dead, even all the chief ones of the earth.
Even all the chief of the earth is the nations.
They have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations.
Right, and we see that. We see them separating the dollar. We see them, Ezekiel 38. All right, Russia, Persia. You know, it's prophecy. Yeah. New ways in prophecy. If you understand, he didn't have an ear left here, because everybody ain't gonna understand what's going on right now. That's right.
Well, think about it. They don't need that strength, but yet they were pimping everybody going through to get their cut. And that's another thing that they should see.
It says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become as weak as we?
Hey, look. George Bush would never allow the talk shit about America. To threaten America. They would have said, hey, we're not hit me. They would have something. This shit became soft.
Art thou become like unto us? Thy prophets brought down to the grave.
Yeah, because it's a nuclear even time right now. That's why it's a term called mad. Mutual assured destruction. So one nuke fly, all nukes gonna fly. So that keeps Esau in a like a double dust type of game.
They got a system that detects ICBM. One go off, they detect it, the trajectory of it. Automatically, the system is already set up. They don't need the president to push the button. They can do it automatically. They can shoot automatically. So if any nation push the button, it don't matter. They gonna shoot. They gonna shoot wherever they were shot automatically.
I think that's it on that. Well, yeah, that's it on that. We asked this brother. You got a question, brother?
Yeah. In the beginning, Adam and Eve, that wasn't in the transgression, but the Most High said you changed in the transgression. So they walked in a curse. What, right? Is it possible that she was reincarnated to be forgiven from her transgression of God when she came back? I'm just wondering because I heard people say that Adam was reincarnated. What about
Okay, everyone knows, but let's look at this. Look, it really doesn't matter. It's not because of that natural salvation. Does that change or affect salvation? It doesn't change or affect salvation. So that would be, yes, everyone gets regenerated every 3 or 4 generations. So the answer to it is yes. But say that she was specifically that woman, there's no precept, nowhere in the Bible. So I wouldn't worry.
How Israel shall be saved?
Yeah. I wouldn't worry. That's the point. That's what we do, and I wouldn't worry.
First of all, we would never say don't ask questions. Tailor your question to something that's necessary.
And whoever you heard that from, stop listening.
It's just about salvation right here. Right? That's what I did.
It says, in that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake and sleep.
Yeah, so this is the time when you got to wake up out of sleep. Other doctrines, dogmas, theology, ideology, whatever it is. This is the time to wake up from all of that other BS.
And all of us got one answer question.
Yeah.
But some things it ain't. I got a whole bunch of them, but they don't really concern salvation. It's just something that I like to know. And the thing is that the time is going to come when we will know all things. Right. All right. But as far as things that are concerning salvation, we got to know 100% truth. Right.
I'm not using many people. Right. So you go over every single. Matter of fact, if you even use the scripture, you go to every single etymology, every single word. You wouldn't even make it through one chapter. You go hold on to say.
One verse.
So just follow the scripture. It's going to actually build you up. It's actually going to wake someone up.
Or, like you said, right now everything's about prophecy and salvation. What's concerning us is public. Then all the chaos is still waiting. Right? When they come down on our people, when they target us and try to put our names out there, when they somehow, try to make us connected to all the craziness going on, and we absolutely have nothing to do with it. Right? When they start trying to condemn us, so watching the phone, watching the internet, they know whoever's going to watch it. The algorithm is going to tell them. But the difference is that the elect of the Lord, for the most part, because some of us will be martyrs, for that's written. Right? There's no way around it. Some of us will be martyrs. Right? Somebody get there and saw the needs to go to the head of the testimony. So some of us will be beheaded, shot down, whatever it is. But buddy and it's pain, you know. The Lord didn't say He was going to let you suffer, but He definitely said He was going to take care of you.
Stephen got stoned. Stephen got stoned. And in the midst of his stone, he said the heavens opened up.
And He's at peace. So what's that telling you without telling you? It's just telling you He didn't feel in the midst of his dying, the Lord took his spirit. So they were just, his body, he was gone.
That first stone, he was already.
His body, they was just battering the body. He wasn't dead.
Funny, when I was a young man, I got jumped. And by the time I got jumped, people would fight every bricks. I was in no way. I paid him that that's what the Lord said He's going to take he has care for His elect. And let's go back to what you said in Sirach 2 and 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and this confounded? Or did any abide in His fear and was forsaken? Or whom did ever He despise and called upon Him? The Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering, and very pitiful, and forgives sins and Satan time.
Even if you facing certain death, right? You gotta, like the scripture says, wisdom and knowledge should be the same. To build out time, and strengthen our salvation. So when you look at these stories, right? And the Lord, so if you're looking at death, you might be looking at it, but that doesn't mean that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Right? They got two friends, did they die? Did they die? Right. The Lord stepped in.
To be honest, that's where you need to be at. Real quick, I want to get into Colossians 6. It says, as ye have therefore received Hamashiach Yahushua, the Lord, so walk in him, rooted and built up in him. So we're at the point where we got to build ourselves up. Because it's going to go through persecution. It's going to go through some hard shit. It's going to go through fight. Scripture talks about the straits, which means a place of difficulty. So you want to get yourself built up in faith and get out by shot to be able to stay in the time that's going to come. If you just thinking about World War III and all that plays into the part of prophecy on us getting the money.
Once World War III goes live,
It's here.
yeah, it's
Right, it's not going to come this already here. Right? But it's when it becomes, when it gets so bad to where it starts, and it's effective, when it starts affecting your movement, and then that draft,
Just raised the age to 42.
yeah, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to grab back veterans, especially combat veterans. If you were in the military and you had a combat MOS, and you are 42 years or younger, right? They're gonna try to take you and make you return. They're probably gonna try to promote you, get you back to the rank, and get bump you up to. All right, you the sergeant, they can try to make you a general sergeant. All right.
Just to
Yeah, so they're gonna try to do that. And then it makes sense from their side. Why would I want to bring in a whole batch of Looney Tunes? And I can get guys that already know the lingo, and when they come back, everything, they'll just snap right back. They'll understand they'll understand the formations, where you got a guy who's brand new, right? Yeah. Well, a lot of veterans said that you're not taking my sons. And they said, I've seen a lot of Edomites say you're not taking them. right? So it's gonna get bad out here. You're gonna have some of these dads that's gonna, go find their M14, their M16, whatever fucking them they got. And they gonna become a problem. And that's written in the scripture. That's what 2 Ezra 15 and 16 chapter is all about.
He says, rooted and built up in him, established in faith, as ye have been taught. So you gotta find people who will teach you. You don't go to Great Mills, don't stick with GMS. Don't go to nobody else. Alright?
Just spit out too long.
Yeah, because it's clear to me by you asking that question, you said something about somebody saying you're listening to somebody else. Stop listening. They're not backing up. Look, if there's not 3 or 4 precepts to back up what they're saying, then they're not telling you the truth. Anything that we say, we're going to have 3 or 4 precepts or more to clarify it, right? And so, are they, you have to ask yourself, is this precept? They say something, so first part is such a there's a couple of precepts in there. That way, with the Bible, you go to 3 or 4 other places, and it says the same thing, it lines up with the statements that they made, then that's going to be doctrine. Then you can, okay, all right. But if they don't, if you ask, they say something, and you like, man, bro, can you give me the precepts on that? And they can't, then don't, right, tell them, don't talk to that brother. That brother gonna say
It's Isaiah 30 and 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a water, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers.
Instagram prophets, right? They haven't stood on no cheap podcast anywhere, ever. And now they go on the car, going to YouTube wrong, talking about right. Or they just put on baseball, that matches whatever crazy they have in the garage, right? And start, teaching. And then you go up and it's going on. It's way back. Bring it up.
First Corinthians chapter 2 and 2. This is Paul speaking. He says, I started 1. It says, and I, brethren, when I came to you, came not with excellency of speech or of wisdom, declaring unto you the testimony of the Most High.
There's some big ass words. Trying to teach you big words and all that.
It is deep
Keep
knowledge.
this there, write down.
It's not, it ain't that.
Verse 2 is still points.
When you read those big words, and that ain't side. I remember watching the video, right? Maybe this probably about 2013, right? And Avatar said how he was a rapper, he failed as a rapper, right? Matter of fact, I remember the rapper name was Delirious.
That shit crazy.
So he's still doing it, right? He's still doing it. And I remember him saying how he was just reading, he would read encyclopedia dictionary just to learn new words so he could regurgitate those words in his teachers. Because then he was right. Because then it sounds so you can recall, you learn 2 or 3 big words and then you start using those words and then you just build on the add up to your vocabulary until you really understand the scripture. So they get you lost in other things.
Paul said great things. Great plainness of speech is great plainness of speech. That they can run.
So this is verse 2. This is the point. It says, for I determined not to know anything among you, save Yahushua HaMashiach and him crucified.
Right, so that's what matters. I understand that Yahushua came, he died for our sins, right? And that we have an opportunity.
Going back to Eden.
die for the sins of Israelites.
She sinned, did she not?
Right.
Right.
That's simple.
That's simple, bro.
Yeah.
Like we all sin, like the scripture says, all have sinned and fallen short of the glory.
Yeah, even in 2 thirds, you know, it's just that they have to down the side is pertaining to riches. That's the only thing. But his death redeemed them as well. They just, you know, they just 2 thirds, and they got to go through what, you know, that's their life. And the one, you know, how Rakazan is none of our lives. All right, but their lot is already sealed. Right. But the flip side of the coin is that they do still. I got one of my closest friends in New York that told me this. You know, I'm trying, you know, I'm getting on him. I really bother him. But I'm getting on him. But he was like, you know, we were arguing with a couple of other friends, and then he was like, hold on. He said, I never said I didn't believe. He said, I believe everything you said. But he said, I also believe that I'm getting the kingdom anyway. So, as he's still chewing on that pork, I'm going to eat this shit anyway. This shit good. That was it. He was like, why I got to change? I'm going to get the kingdom. And I'm like, I'm just looking at this nigga like,
But see, it don't come with evidence.
and then he turned around and said, then he turned around, man, I'm excited to see all that shit. I'm ready for this shit. I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, bro, you ain't ready for this.
They don't know what they ask. They don't know.
I know this ain't state, but
Yeah,
let me read.
pretty much. And that's it. And then, you know, he want to, matter of fact, he out in Colorado right now. His job got him up here. So, man, you know, he make big money. So, he like, I'm really proud. You know, I'm saying this man, he would go, you know, now, and that's cutting back now, because he don't make it. But he used to go to Thailand for 3 months, every year. He was living good, bro. So he was like, you know, man, when I gotta go out there, instead of the home show, I'm already getting the pizza, right? And I'm like, but so comfortably like that. Now, sick, in pain. He just lost his baby brother. His younger brother just died. Right?
Jake don't understand what comes with that. When Abba himself, when the Father tells you you're gonna die by pain, when he tells you you're gonna die by pain, you should really consider that statement.
Yeah. As much as I hate the 2 thirds, you know, I really hate it. But at the same time, I'm glad they're around because that just makes our chances that much better. They're not calling us the name. They're not going to keep the Shabbat. They're not going to try to keep the back. You know, they're not going to say no when that fine broad off on the ass and they know she got a man. They going to, right, exactly.
Rehearsing the righteous acts. Yeah.
The righteous act.
Yep. Which one
What kind of friend is this?
But it's also a prophecy being fulfilled that the 2/3 gonna be the 2/3 again. He said the wicked will do wicked. So that should both show faith. Everything that we're seeing prophecy in real time play out in real time every day. A new prophecy is being revealed every second of every day.
Message. And you know what? The weird thing is that the heathen collectively are cannibals. And Jake not. You know what? Jake is so used to struggling anyway. That's the thing. They condition.
They make a joke.
They condition for the struggle. But and they laughing at Esau watching them. But they don't understand. You know what they? But the flip side of the point is that Esau gets it. He trying to tell his black friend, nigga, we about to be fucked up. His black friend like, nigga, I'm in fucked up. And he like, no, you don't get it. He's like, I don't get it. And I'm like, no, you don't, man. Listen to your white boyfriend. Because you have no idea what's about to happen.
See him get scared.
Right.
Everything They're leaving there even right there because they're asking them, what are we gonna do if they come mess with us? We're just gonna conform and do whatever they say. They said, no, we ain't cool with that. So they're trying to find, which is still fucked up because the woman gonna be fucked up no matter what. She's gonna have a man, a lord to protect her.
Well, and if she an actual leader, like she's up there. I mean, all she does is she can't get on the chair. And then, you know, and if you please well, she still can't get on the chair. It's like, you're right, you gotta leave her. Be like, hey, baby, I see you on the side. Ain't nothing I can do for you.
Oh, look at Sally. Right. Bring it back
Right.
to what you for.
Exactly. I pray it be quick.
I see you.
Ain't nothing you can do for her.
Hey,
She can't get on the chariot. Whatever the heat is. All right? You got your badass, you know, Moabite, Ammonite, badass Elamite, whatever, man. She can't get on the chariot.
right, cuz
There ain't nothing you can do.
the same. Chariots, it will be changed. Only the Israelites can change.
Exactly.
The only time they will ever see evolution happen.
1 Corinthians 15, 50 through 55. Is that evolution, that instant evolution that Esau always talking about.
Right.
All right, when all of a sudden niggas can fly and shit. You know,
Big as hell.
you talk to a nigga, he up high to damn L tracks looking down at you. Right? All of a sudden, you know. Well, that's not gonna happen for everyone.
In their face.
That's only in this thing. He said the strangeness of their salvation. The strangeness of their salvation.
Right. And that's what which is only promised to the children of Israel.
There you
read
go.
that in Jeremiah 31, Hebrews 8, Ezekiel 11, Ezekiel 36.
Right, so the heathen's not going to hear it then. So they cannot get on the ships. They're not genetically capable. Let's put it like that. Because they don't come through the bloodline.
No.
All right?
And they gonna find that out.
And he got a lot to pay for.
And they got too much to pay for it, too much blood. And even the ones that scream it out that, well, my family never owned slaves. We never did that. It was like, no, trust regeneration. And you benefited from the rape, robbery, and murder.
Right now.
So, and you still benefit from it.
I talked to an Ishmaelite. He owned a liquor store. And by my job, me and a couple co-workers, we go to the liquor store every Friday. Friday we go here together. About 30 minutes to an hour. And we know we cool with him. He Ishmael. He's like, oh no, I'm African. But I heard him talk shit about Issachar and talk shit about Jacob. And I finally said something. I said, no, man. But behind closed doors, you talk shit about my people. I said, you're not African. You just got one there, right? You got, I went into the history. I said, can you call those niggas behind closed doors? He said, yeah. I did. There's no disrespect. I said, no, it's all disrespect. Because for the simple fact, people talking down to us. Like we're beneath you. I say, ask your grandfather. Ask your grandfather. These heathens, they did so much shit. Abraham, Ishmael showed Esau how to train us to do slavery.
Yeah.
The Arab slave
The
trade.
first slave trade that happened before the transatlantic slave trade, that happened before Cristobal Colon came over to the Americans. Right? Which is actually trying to make it simple men. Not talking about the transatlantic slave trade did not start in 1619. It started in 1492. So as soon as Cristobal Colon landed, right? The world knows it was Christopher Columbus, right? But as soon as he landed, that thus started the transatlantic slave trade 100 years before 1619.
Right, because they were from the Northern Kingdom, King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella.
Yep, because Seville, Spain became the first slave capital
they were doing that to Gadites here too. So Pocahontas and several, she was the only one they took over there.
And when you read the story of her, it's a very tragic story. They made a cartoon. And that really aggravated me. I learned it too. I did a lesson. But it turned out that Pocahontas, somebody get right? But Pocahontas was only 14 years old. And she had a husband. They don't tell you that part either. She wasn't a virgin. All right, she was a virgin and she was still young enough to be married and have children. But she wasn't a virgin. The virgin with the meaning of being untouched. You know, you got one Allah and the one. All right, and that's the difference between the two. All right, both are still able to have children. All right, but one is untouched and one may not. All right, so they killed her husband. Okay, they murdered her husband, John Smith. I don't know if John Smith murdered him, but her husband was murdered, and so was her first child. Right, and then John Smith took her pregnant. He wanted something. Then he took her back home to Spain, and when she was pregnant, he had his child, and that filled him with some love. I can't take care of myself. I'm stuck with this. And then she ended up dying young. She didn't even grow old, right? Depression? Yeah, depression. She died very young, and that's the true story of Pocahontas. Because they glorified like it was this grand love story. They're holding hands and spinning around in flowers. You know? No, man, this dude was a murdering, rapist piece of shit. Right? And he sees these young girls. Right? And like I got one of my clients sent me a picture of two men. And they said one was a Christian, two men holding a little girl's hand. And they said Christian and his daughter. Then it said Muslim and his wife. I was like, yeah, trying to clown, like, and I'm like, man, with all the pedophilia that's going on with white Christian males especially, there's always a bunch of numbers, a bunch of freakers in Christianity. Okay, nothing but a bunch of false prophets and a bunch of, heathens. Okay, every other day is some freakers and shit going on. There's some Christian church somewhere. Right. About those tunnels and Brooklyn. Exactly. And then they ain't saying nothing about the J-ish. Okay? But trying to put it up, trying to create that narrative that Muslims are the problem. No, man. This war was started with Muslims to hide and protect white male Christians here in America. We here at Great Millstone, we ain't let that Epstein bullshit go. All right? Exactly. So, there's no religion that has shed more blood on this planet than Christians. And to make with that, because in Esau, Edom, the bloodshed, that violent man, right? And then there's no other people outside of the Edomites that shed more blood on this planet. And it just so happens that the majority of Edomites happen to be Christians, Judeo-Christians. Right? And there's no group of people or religion in the history of mankind. Matter of fact, when I walked up, the brother was talking about the UN voting that the transatlantic slave trade was the most inhumane and wicked thing in the history that ever happened in the history of mankind. Right? Well, guess who was the number one perpetrators of that? Judeo-white Christian males. Right? So that say it again. Who were the perpetrators of that? Judeo-Christian white males. They were the ones who were responsible for the most heinous act, the most malicious act, the most inhumane act in human history. They were responsible. That's why three of their nations voted no. And the ones who were absent, they voted no too. Right? And they were all, and most of the ones who said the majority, those who refused to vote, they were absent from the vote, they were also people benefiting from trade and slavery. don't want to. That's why the Jewish, the Jayish, and the Judeo-Christians in America, and the other Jayish here in America didn't want to admit to it. Exactly what you just said. When we get that Exodus 21.
Exodus 2:16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, if you go to the Hebrew word hand, it's Yah, which means power. Alright? If he be found in his power, he shall surely be put to death.
There's no other remedy. The only remedy is death. And then when they're doing the slave trade, they spoke of a tremendous amount of blood. So what is Numbers 33 and 35 say? Is it 35? Yeah. Get that real quick.
When it says in Revelation that you will drink the blood of the saints, you know,
Get it? Get it?
Literally.
It's at Numbers 35 and 33. So shall ye not pollute the land wherein ye are. For blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
That's it. No other way. All right? Those who shed all that blood, their blood has to be shed. There is no saying I'm sorry. There's no, hey, I apologize for what I didn't know. Your blood, you have to bleed. That's what the Bible says. You're a Judeo-Christian, right? Read what the book says.
Shall Israel send it, you know? So these devils gotta pay, man.
Revelation 17:6. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs that Yahweh shot.
That woman is America. That same hole that set on the beast. And now the beast is turning. All right? The beast is going to eat up like Jezebel got ate by the dogs. All right? Go ahead.
And with the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh shot, and when I saw her, I wondered with admiration. And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman, and the beast that carried the woman, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. Yeah, you're not supposed to marvel off of this place, man. Alright? You're not supposed to marvel off of this bitch, especially now. Look at this bitch now, man.
I'm marveled off at home.
Yeah,
Man, right? We can walk. Look at the stance is gone. All right? We can walk a mile that way. A mile that way. All right? A mile that way. Especially going up and down Clark Street. Clark Street was and State Street. Those two streets, it was nothing but commerce, man. Nothing but commerce. And you walk down that street, you walk down Clark, and all you see is closed businesses, closed restaurants, closed bars, closed stores, clothing stores. Same thing if you go up, if you walk up Wabash, right? You start walking up Wabash, all right? And you get all the way up to Jewelers Road. It's nothing but abandoned, built, empty properties, all right? You short, so you can't see short. All you see is feet. All right? I mean, literally. The way we're standing like this is how the sidewalks are. As you on both sides of the sidewalk, everywhere you went. It was that many people down there. It was a bus. They traffic. And now they're yeah. Stores everywhere too. said that the blood of saints was found in Babylon. What is that? Right. Read it again.
Revelation chapter 18 and 24, and in her was found the blood of prophets.
So I gotta add that to my regeneration precept. All right. Bang. So the saints and the prophets, wait a minute, huh? What? Their blood. I thought they died now. We tell you that we regenerate every word for a generation. We tell you that with confidence because that's what the Bible says. Every 3-4 generations, everyone will generate. Right? And like I said, a lot of jakes fear death because they think that's it. All right? And because, like I said, we've been in Babylon for 2 years. We had the glorious spirits with us. You know, now I understand why we were so fierce in battle with all those things. We didn't even we didn't care for that. It's like, oh, I kill these enemies and my people is weak. And I'm coming back. And if y'all still around, I'll kill y'all again. All right? That was
that for Israel, this is the end of that cycle
of death.
You know, that cycle is coming to an end, so it ain't no more coming back into this flesh. Whatever flesh we in right now, this is it, man.
Go ahead,
so
read.
we don't get another chance.
Go ahead.
So give diligence to make our call and let you sure now. Because there's mortality after this.
right. That's the thing. And my knucklehead friend, all right, he's gonna have a good life on the other side, blah 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 blah. But the Lord's elect, right? It's levels to the city, all right. So on the other side, when Yahushua break open that wine and call for his elect, all right, that's gonna be a whole bunch of our people that's on the outside of it. Okay, they're gonna be on the outside of it. And they're going to wish they had listened. Because the Lord going to be like, all Israel, glittering, everybody together, and party, and music, and everything you're doing. Outside going to show up, right? The elect going to show up, crowd's going wild. King David going to show up, the crowd's going wild. The outside going to show up, the crowd going to go nuts. All right? And then they're going to mingle among the people, and then the Lord going to call for this next thing. All right? Then only his elect. Everybody else. You gotta go home.
Can't sit here.
Right. It's like the little badass kid that when all the other kids get, he can't be in trouble. Because you don't get to go. You didn't act right. And I don't want to be that kid with everybody else going to do the thing. And I'm the only one standing there.
What they finna go do?
Right. It's about to be lit. And then you can't have a part of it. Right?
He saw amongst all the regular elect, the regular Israelites, they were all beautiful and everything, and looked rich and so forth. But then when they saw one elect, they all stopped and all pointed up like, oh, there's such.
Even right. I remember that. It's one of them. And these are the Israelites. Right? They were saying that. So what the heathen gonna say?
Just as in Moses, had the light being impressed with the Lord, we don't have that light. Ain't no regular humans that's going to be easy looking for us. If we just go out there, they would have to bail us out, and we would have to tone it down. They would not be looking for us.
Well, we really gonna be like that.
That's your take, another wife?
That one scene in Thor, what's the brother's name? All the niggas really love so much. Yeah, in fact, he reminded me he was out. But yeah, when he stood on that bridge with that big sword and his eyes lit up and all the lightning, I was like, damn, that shit was raw. Like, that's gonna be us, man. We ain't gonna be like regular people. And why would you?
He had the power. He was one that really had the power.
No, I just said it for regular niggas. Right. The Lord said you got the cars you got the Ferrari, you got Eleanor, y'all know who Eleanor is, all right? You got Eleanor, you got the that damn.
That's going to 62nd. Right?
Yeah, that 67 Mustang. You got that Dodge Charger that in the first Fast and the Furious, all right? And then you got a Ford Pinto, right?
Chevy no.
You don't want to be one of these, right? You know, I just want something to run.
Ford Fiesta.
Really, nigga? You go. You know? Bring it out, brother. We gonna get ready to rap.
This is Isaiah 61:9. And their seed shall be known among the Gentiles, and their offspring among the people. All that see them shall acknowledge them, that they are the seed which the Lord hath blessed. You know, that starts also amongst the other nations. It's going to be clear a difference between an Israelite and a heathen. So even all this talk about heathen making and everything like that, like, look, it's really very evident. But then on top of that, there's going to be a greater separation between the elect. And then Israel, then it says, look at Daniel 4th chapter, those that turn many to righteousness shall shine like the stars in the heaven.
Go into that definition when it says those that are superior are the same class and group. So we all Israelites, there are ones that are superior than the rest of them.
It talks about those that are going to be least and greatest in the kingdom of God. So we'll show you what's levels. They're going to both be in the kingdom. Two-thirds, and he's going to eventually be in the kingdom. All right, you know. Once again, it's going to be levels, man. Every year.
Hey, look. Get me lame. So you can really understand low level. Right? You know, how a kid has a toy box. Yeah, most kids love all their toys. Right? You know, they'll pull every toy out of their toy box. You know, and there's just toys all over the damn world. Okay? Guess what? Out of all the toys in that toy box, there's always that one or two toys that need more than anything. The ones they try to hold on to and get in bed with. All the other toys went back in the toy box. Well, we're that special toy, man, that little kid don't want to let go of.
You got the red and hair.
Right? Yeah, come.
So it's
And that's what
come up
it
with
is. So that's what it is. So, he's a Lord. Matter of fact, he said predestinated 1 to like 5. They jumped every like each one.
Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4. Ephesians 1:1, Paul, an apostle of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, by the will of Yahweh, to the saints which are at Ephesus,
Right to the Israelites, not other people like Ephesus, right?
and to the faithful in Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
Those that believe.
Grace be to you and peace from our God, our power,
Our personal pronoun, right? Personal pronoun. Okay?
our Father, and from the Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Blessed be the power and Father of our Lord Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, our Lord. Not everybody. Our saints. Subject matter here is the saints and believers. One and the same. Read.
Who have blessed us with all spiritual blessings
Right? Bless us. Didn't say everyone else. Read.
in heavenly places in Mashiach, according as he hath chosen us
Us again. Over here.
in him before the foundation of the world.
So before the foundation of the world was created, the elect were chosen. See, that's another thing we didn't mention. We were there in the beginning of creation. All right? That could go into a whole other lesson. All right? We go out to first spirit, and then Yahushua created the elect, and then the elect along with Yahushua created everyone and everything else Because everything you see here tonight, he can't have that. Everything you can see, hear, touch, and feel. Right? The elect created. Okay?
It says, according as he hath chosen us in him.
So he chose us in himself, him being the house created.
Before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love, having predestinated us.
And there it is, predestinated, man. It was already foretold in the beginning that whatever we had to go through, all right, it's like, son, you're going to go through holy hell, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. But at the end of that, just like Matt pointed out, you good. Right? Now, finally, be at that place now. Right? This is it.
Sit.
Then when this flesh is gone, right? Hey, we coming back special. Right? Go ahead, brother.
Having predestinated us unto the adoption of children.
You can only be adopted back after lifetime, after lifetime, after lifetime, after lifetime. You can only be adopted for something that you were right?
By Yahweh Shai to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will.
There it is, man. We can stop right there. According to the good pleasure of his will. So it's all about Israel. Right? So with that, we're going to give all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh.
Shalom, shalom.